You know, one of the things that I wish someone would have told me about tournament fishing before I went pro was that this is a sport that can chew you up and spit you out. Also, it can be the greatest thing that ever happened to you. You can make a ton of money and you can lose all your money, and you can do all of those things all in the course of one season. I mean, it is the biggest roller coaster ride, up and down, highest to highs, lowest to lows. You know, you go from winning a tournament and being on top of the world to the next 4 or 5 tournaments in a row. You don't make any money and you have already put most of that money back into the tournaments. I mean, it's crazy, but you know what's funny? The love of the sport and the camaraderie of all the guys that are involved in it. I mean, whether you're, once again, on the highest of highs or the lowest of lows, the friends that you'll make in that tournament circuit, whatever it is, if it's, you know, a smaller circuit, you know, around home, or, you know, the big leagues, it's still the friends that I've made throughout both of those areas are friends that I'm still buddies with today that I made when I was 25 years old. I mean, the friendships are amazing, and through those highs and lows, all those guys, you know, most all of them will just be right there with you to, you know, to drink a beer with you and congrats when you win a tournament, or to drink a beer with you and, you know, tell you to keep your head up because you just got your ass kicked, you know, because trust me, no matter how good you are, that's going to happen a lot. There's going to be a lot of butt kickings. But it is one of the, like, I wouldn't trade the 22 years that I was on tour, I wouldn't trade it for anything, because just the memories that I've made traveling all over the country, just seeing places. You know, now I run into somebody and I start chit-chatting and they start talking about, oh, you know, I went to this place one day, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, I've been there. And they're like, really? I was like, yeah. You know, and it really seems like, you know, after being on the road for so many years, that there really isn't a whole lot of places, at least in the United States, that I haven't been. And just like I said, got to meet some really cool people, made some lifelong friendships. So yes, when you get into tournament fishing, and especially if you're going to do it on the professional level, it's a hard way to make a living. There's no doubt about it. You know, entry fees are getting higher. Payouts aren't getting any higher. You know, payouts have been the same for 20 years, but the entry fees are higher. You know, boats are more expensive. Tackle's more expensive. You know, everything's more expensive to do. But yet, it's one of the coolest things you can possibly think of. I mean, to be able to drive around the country and chase bass and hopefully get paid for it most of the time, or some of the time anyway. It's a really cool thing. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But yes, that is something that I wish somebody would have told me before I started tournament fishing for a living.